Chapter 46, Exposing the Scam Tip. Hearing these words, Master Mo Yang staggers and almost pukes blood. Tip your head. I am a master appraiser. I don't lack money. Like I will take your tip. With a hardened face, Master Mo Yang is on the verge of exploding. At this point, he will be placed in an awkward situation regardless of whether he takes it or not. If he takes it, it means he would be accepting the tip of others' tip. In that case, he would be no different from a waiter or a servant. If he refuses, just the action of the other party alone causes him to feel embarrassed. Suddenly, a thought floats into his mind. Could the lad have foreseen this in advance? That's why he took his money, so as to intentionally cause him embarrassment. You don't want it. Great, I can save 1,000 then. You must know that one can buy a lot of things with 1,000 gold coins. Sensing his hesitation, Xianxia places the note back into his embrace and mutters by the side. Hearing these words, Master Mo Yang is on the verge of collapsing. You sure are lucky, choosing the right one. However, this doesn't mean that you have won. All right, I still have things to attend to, so it is about time for me to leave. With coldness in his gaze, Master Mo Yang stands up, flings his arm and prepares to leave. His decisive action impresses Xianxia. As expected of a professional scammer, the moment things go awry, he leaves. His decisiveness is truly worthy of respect. Regardless of whether Xianxia is lucky or he is truly skilled in appraising, he would no longer be treated as a lunatic after earning so much in an instant. Rather than grinding it out with him, it is much wiser for him to end it here. After all, he has already profited greatly from appraising for the others. The longer the argument carries on for, the higher the possibility of something going wrong for him. The results of our competition isn't conclusive yet. Why are you in such a hurry to leave? Given Master Mo Yang's previous actions, there is no way Xianxia can allow him to escape just like this. Indeed, Master, don't be in such a hurry to leave. You also made a profit from the item you bought. This can't be considered as his victory. Master has only underestimated his enemy. That's why he didn't choose the most valuable treasure from the start. We believe in you. After numerous days of effort, the master has roped in a large group of loyal followers. I have already said before that I have matters to attend to. Farewell. Master Mo Yang waves his hand. Even if you have urgent matters to attend to, I doubt that a few minutes will matter much. There are still things that I would like your guidance on. Xianxia blocks the other party's escape path. What kind of things? Master Mo Yang stops and harumphs coldly. This friend. Seeing him cease his movements, Xianxia smiles faintly and stares at the elderly who had obtained the slot for appraisal and bought the ornamental vase. What is it? The elderly walks over. He is still hugging the artifact containing the ornamental vase as though he is hugging a precious treasure. Given its size, he will be unable to clean it up within a short period of time. Thus, he chose to stay to join in the spectacle. If I'm not wrong, the item you spent 80,000 gold coins to purchase is an ornamental vase. Furthermore, it is a broken one and it is not even worth a single gold coin. Xianxia points to his artifact and states, ornamental vase? Not even worth a single cent? What kind of joke is this? This is something the master chose for me. The face of the elderly darkens as he chastises Xianxia. Cleaning up such a large artifact will take a long time. At the minimum, you will require at least a day. How about this? You smash it on the floor directly, and if I'm wrong, I will pay you 80,000 gold coins. However, if I'm right, it means that you have fallen into his trap and got scammed. If so, you can just demand the money back from the one who scammed your money. Xianxia offers with a grin. Smash it. The elderly is taken aback by his words. The words of the other party make sense. Cleaning up such a large artifact will surely take a lot of time. However, if he were to smash it on the floor, it would only take an instant. If it was truly as the other party claims and it turns out to be just an ornamental vase, then he would have made a big loss. Even for him, a loss of 80,000 gold coins is enough to send him into bankruptcy. If the artifact turns out to be a fake, he will probably commit suicide. If the young man were to say these words a moment ago, he would simply scoff and disregard his words. However, the other party has just bought a treasure which won him a revenue of 765 times. This very fact makes his determination wavers. Worry not, a true treasure won't shatter that easily. Even if you were to smash it, it is very unlikely for it to break. You won't make a loss. Sensing his hesitation, Xianxia pushes on. All right. After a short moment of contemplation, the elderly casually smashes the artifact in his embrace on the floor. Dang lang! With a crisp sound, the giant artifact shatters apart, and its true form reveals itself amidst the moss and mud. Indeed, it turns out to be a shattered vase. It is really an ornamental vase. After taking a look, the crowd verifies that it is indubitably an ornamental vase. Even if this object is an antique left behind from the ancient times, it still isn't worth much money. Needless to say, 80,000 gold coin. No one would buy it for even 10 gold coins. What is going on here? Seeing the broken fragments on the floor, the elderly freezes in shock. Initially, he had placed all of his hope on this artifact to earn him big bucks, yet it all ended up like this. How can he possibly not go berserk? What is happening? You will have to ask this Master Mo Yang. If I'm not wrong, he worked together with the dealer to build his fame as an appraiser so as to attract everyone's attention. Then, through his appraisals, he is able to get you all to spend big bucks to buy the artifacts he decides upon, thus profiting from it. Xianxia looks at Master Mo Yang and the dealer, and the corners of his mouth creep upwards. As for why he was able to choose objects of high value, the reason is simple. Since the cleaning process did not happen before you, they are able to switch the item inside with another treasure they prepared beforehand and claim that it is the one he had just picked out. Anyway, no one saw the cleaning process, so no one is able to refute his claims. Is that true? Hearing Xianxia's words, everyone's trust in Master Mo Yang wavers. After picking out a treasure before everyone else, Xianxia successfully exposes a fake treasure that Master Mo Yang appraised. The crowd who had complete trust in Master Mo Yang a moment ago is starting to get suspicious. Dang lang! While they are still busy contemplating over who is right and who is wrong, another crisp sound echoes amidst the crowd. Another fellow who had received the appraisal slot smashed the artifact he bought as well. This time, it isn't an ornamental vase but a useless pottery. It is clear with a single look that it isn't worth much. Fake, it is a fake. I spent 60,000 gold coins to buy this. They are scammers. Seeing the broken shards on the floor, those who bought the appraised items know that they have been scammed as well and started roaring frenziedly. Peng! Hong! Puhe! With the two precedents, the remaining few can no longer hold it in. One after another, towards the artifacts they just bought, they throw, smash with a hammer or cut it open with a blade. Taking a look at what is inside, all of their faces pale. They are all fakes. They are all worthless trash. We have been duped. This Master Mo Yang is a fraud. If there was only one fake, the crowd would still be able to accept it. After all, even an appraiser can't possibly pick treasures out of artifacts 100% of the time. However, when all 9 of the artifacts that he had appraised turn out to be trash, it can only mean to say that he is a scammer. To think that you still acted so compassionate and benevolent. Pooey! You are just a fraudster. The berserk crowd surrounds Master Mo Yang and the dealer tightly as they stare at them intensely. At this moment, even the thought of killing them flashes through their minds. After all, no one's money came from the sky. If no one saw through the sham, and they only realize that it is a scam after they are done cleaning, who can they find to redress their grievances? Don't listen to the nonsense of this lad. Even master appraisers have moments when they are off. I'm truly unacquainted with this artifact dealer. Seeing the murderous glare in the eyes of the crowd, Master Mo Yang realizes that it is no longer possible to fool them and roars in anger instead. If it was a moment ago, the crowd would have definitely listened to his words. But now, no one pays him any heed anymore. Bang, 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 bang. The sound of someone hitting on a human sandbag echoes from the congregation of the crowd. Following which, cries of agony can be heard. In this ordeal, not even the artifact dealer is spared. As for the initiator of the incident, Xianxia, he had sneaked off the moment chaos broke out inside. The world is humongous, and every day, there are people who are going about scamming others, and there are people who are scammed by them. He isn't an omnipotent God, and it is impossible for him to interfere in all of them. If it wasn't for Master Mo Yang's excessive mouth, he couldn't be bothered to exposing him. Now that those who were scammed are aware of the situation, naturally, they have their own way of dealing with the problem. There is no need for Xianxia to worry about them. Huang Yu Bookstore. Walking slowly along the market, a giant store appears before him. In it, there are all kinds of books filling the bookshelves within. The store deals with medicinal herbs, weapons, savage beasts, and naturally, books. That is also his main motive for choosing to enter this store. Let me take a look. Xianxia lifts his leg and steps into the store. Chapter 47. Huang Yu Gongzi, are you here to buy books or to browse through books? Gongzi GT gentleman. The moment he steps into the bookstore, a young lady steps forward to welcome him. Around 17 to 18-year-old, her pure face and appearance are particularly alluring. Even though she is still slightly lacking compared to Shun by Ru Laosha, she is considered as an exceptional beauty. Is there secret manuals on Fighter 6 Dan cultivation technique here? Xianxia reveals his objective here to her. Fighter 6 Dan cultivation technique? Gongzi must be joking. Such secret manuals on cultivation technique cost a hefty sum. A little business like ours doesn't have the qualifications to be selling them. If you want some entrance-level cultivation technique manuals, we have a few of it here though. The lady shakes her head. The books sold in their store mainly consists of human geography, biographies of reputable figures and such. Cultivation techniques are something highly confidential to cultivators, so how can it be allowed to be browsed through or sold freely? Then, do you know any stores that sell them? Confirming his suspects that the manuals aren't on sale here, Xianxia sighs and looks at her in expectation. Sell them? The lady shakes her head. It is impossible for anyone in Xianxia Royal City to be selling cultivation techniques of this level. However, some experts do collect quite a few of them. If you have an amicable relationship with them, it might be possible for them to allow you to look through them. Allow me to look through them? Taking a look is great as well. Xianxia's eyes light up. With the Library of Heaven's Path, there is no need for him to buy the books. As long as he is able to lay his hand on those books, just by flipping through it, a corresponding book will be compiled automatically. Do you know any seniors who collect such manuals in their residence, and allow others to browse through them? He can't resist asking. Allow others to browse through them. The lady frowns, and just as she is about to shake her head, she suddenly thought of something and slyness flits across her eyes. She smiles and says, I do know of one. However, he is known for being eccentric. When he is in high spirits, he won't mind even if you were to take all of the books in his house. But if he is in a bad mood, ignoring the fact whether he will allow you to browse through his books or not, he might not even allow you to walk through his door. Such a person exists in the world. Xianxia frowns. He continues, then, may I trouble you to guide me to seek that senior? It just happens that there isn't much business today. I will bring you there now. The young lady smiles. Thanks for the trouble. He doesn't expect the lady to be so helpful as to bring him there personally, so he nods his head in gratitude. With the lady leading ahead, the two of them walk out of the bookstore. Through their idle chatter, Xianxia learns that the name of the lady is Huang Yu. This bookstore is opened by her. Judging from the appearance of the bookstore, it seems to be newly opened, at maximum around 10 days or so. You are saying that there are many books in the home of that senior. After walking a distance, Xianxia can't resist asking. Naturally. That senior is a famous scholar in the entire kingdom, and he was once Emperor Shunzui's tutor. He is a person who is able to freely go in and out of the kingdom's book collection vault. Do you think that it is possible for the books in his home to not be many? Huang Yu says reverently. Emperor Shunzui's teacher? That means, he used to be an emperor's tutor. Xianxia is stunned. The current emperor of Qianxian Kingdom is named Shunzui. No one is aware of the specific level of his cultivation, they only know that he is the strongest person in the entire kingdom, unmatched by anyone. The tutors of such a figure are carefully handpicked and have to undergo numerous selection processes before their positions are confirmed. Even the principal of Hongqian Academy doesn't possess such qualifications. He is his painting and calligraphy teacher, and not his martial arts teacher. Even so, he is still an incredible figure who is deeply respected by the emperor. At this point, Huang Yu's face turns solemn as she warns Xianxia. This old Mr. Lu Chen is an elegant person who is very particular about decorum. He detests juniors talking nonsense before him. When we arrive, it is best for you not to speak too easily. Otherwise, it will be impossible for you to be given permission to browse through his books. UN. Xianxia nods his head. Also, I also have my own matters to attend to. When we arrive, you will have to deal with the matter of borrowing books yourself. Don't mess up my matter along with yours. Huang Yu glances over with her beautiful eyes as she speaks. Don't worry, I won't put you in a difficult position. Comprehending the meaning behind her words, Xianxia smiles in response. He is already grateful for the fact that she is willing to bring him over. If he is capable, he will be able to borrow the books. However, even if he ends up in failure, nothing can be done about it. No matter what, he is still a teacher. How can he put a young lady in an awkward position? The old Mr. prefers juniors who are more obedient. No matter what the old Mr. says, you just have to nod your head. You should also know that a great scholar like him tends to be more conservative, so his thoughts may diverge from that of us, youngsters. Just try not to squabble with him over these. Huang Yu reminds him once again. The two of them soon walks out of the market. After passing by a series of alleys that would leave one confused, they arrive at a residence. This is the residence of old Mr. Lu Chen. Huang Yu points towards the residence. Xianxia raises his head to take a look at the entire residence. It isn't as vast and extravagant as he expected. It seems like the residence of an ordinary household, and there isn't even a door plaque at the entrance. If it weren't for Huang Yu leading him here, he might have thought that this is the residence of a normal civilian. This is the place where the emperor's tutor lives? Xianxia finds it hard to believe. Old Mr. Lu Chen lives a thrifty life. There were many times when Emperor Shenzui offered to reconstruct his residence, but he firmly rejected the offers. Noticing his doubt, Huang Yu explains. Xianxia nods his head as his respect for the emperor's tutor grows. Despite possessing such social status, he is able to remain incorruptible and thrifty without being changed by power. It seems like this old mister is a sentimental and straightforward person. Da. Just as they are about to knock on the door, a carriage rushes over. The distinct sound of the galloping of the horse echoes through the alley. Gr. The carriage stops beside the two. A young man parts the curtains of the carriage and walks out. He is a 17 to 18-year-old youth dressed in white. Tall and slim, his face is exquisite, similar to a white jade. With a single look, it is clear to see that he is Xian, and he exudes an aura of superiority. Xiao Yu, you are here too. Xiao Yu GT Little Yu seeing Huang Yu, the white-clothed Gongzi's eyes twinkle and immediately tries to fawn upon her. Gongzi GT Gentleman, I am Huang Yu, don't give me such a mushy nickname. We aren't that familiar with one another yet. Huang Yu curls her lips contemptuously. Given the relationship between our families, it isn't too much to call you Xiao Yu. Besides, wasn't that how I called you when you were younger as well? Are you here to visit old Mr. Lu Chen as well? The white-clothed Gongzi smiles and flings his robe. He strikes a pose, as though declaring that victory is in his hands. Don't think too much about that object. It will definitely come under my possession. It is hard to tell whose it will be at this point. I only fear that you will cry then. Huang Yu doesn't step down to his taunting. We'll see then. The white-clothed Gongzi chuckles. At this point, he finally notices Xianxia and frowns. Who is this? Xiao Yu, why did you bring an outsider here? No matter who is it that I bring, it is none of your business. Huang Yu purses her lips, not sparing the other party any face. HMPH, lad. No matter who you are, I advise you to stay away from Xiao Yu. She isn't someone a small figure like you can lay your hands upon. Looking at Xianxia, the white-clothed Gongzi narrows his eyes and spits coldly. Xianxia didn't expect to be threatened when he is here only to borrow a book. A strong feeling of helplessness surges through him. Using the words from his previous world, he is lucky like a dead mongoose. All Huang Yu did is to bring him here, they are just barely acquaintances. Do you really have to go that far? Threatened by someone, Xianxia feels displeased. He stretches his back and waves away his concerns. You interfere too much. My apologies, but I don't think that you need to concern yourself over this. Fine, I hope that you don't regret your words. He didn't expect that a lad he had never met before would dare to speak to him in such a manner. The white-clothed Gongzi's eyebrows shoot up and his eyes narrow. Turning around, he ignores the other two and walks over to the front of the courtyard to knock on the door. Why are you so rash? As the white-clothed man knocks on the door, Huang Yu's anxious voice sounds by Xianxia's ears. Why? Xianxia looks at her in puzzlement. Do you know who he is, for you to dare to speak to him like that? Seeing the oblivious look on the other party's face, Huang Yu feels a little helpless. It is truly hard to tell whether this fellow has a strong heart or that there is something wrong with his head. Who cares who he is? Xianxia shrugs. What does his identity have to do with me? You. Seeing the expression on the young man's face, Huang Yu is starting to doubt if she had brought a fool over. Seeing the indifferent look in his eyes, she is able to tell that he truly isn't bothered over the identity of the person he just offended. At a loss for words, she could only introduce the person before to him. He is the sole son of Zhennan Wang, by Zun. Zhennan Wang is known as the #1 authoritative subject of Xianxia Kingdom, his position beneath only that of Emperor Shun Zui. Offending his only son means that it will be hard for him to make a living in Xianxia Kingdom. Initially, she thought that revealing the identity of the other party will induce fear in this fellow and that he would ask her how he should resolve the problem. Contrary to her expectations, Xianxia looks over with a confused expression. Zhennan Wang. Who is he? Chapter 48. What the heck is this toy? Huang Yu feels the vision before her spin and she almost faints on the spot. To not even know Zhennan Wang? Dude, are you really from Xianxia Kingdom? Are you sure you didn't pop up from some remote corner? At this moment, she is starting to regret bringing this fellow here. Given how ignorant he is, it is likely he will say something wrong and pull her down along with him. Actually, Xianxia really isn't putting on an act, he is truly ignorant on this matter. His previous self is the worst teacher in the academy. All along, he has been occupied with how he could stop himself from being expelled from the school. Thus, he never tried to look into the internal affairs of the kingdom and knows very little about it as well. The previous him doesn't even know what section, division, and bureau are, so how could he possibly know who Zhennan Wang is? Jia. Just as she is about to explain the glorious war accomplishments of Zhennan Wang, the door in front of them creaks and opens. A butler-like person appears in their view, welcoming them. Uncle Cheng, I am prepared now. I hope to receive Master's guidance again. Towards the butler he calls Uncle Cheng. The white-clothed Gongzi by Zun speaks respectfully, the arrogance he had a moment ago absent in his voice. Gongzi GT gentlemen, so it is by Gongzi and Huang Gunyang. Please follow me to wait at the lounge. Upon catching sight of the three standing at the entrance of the door, the butler bows and ushers them in. Gongzi GT gentleman Gunyang GT lady, miss the three of them follow behind him into the residence. Xianxia gazes around the surroundings. The residence may not be extravagant in its renovations, inferior even when compared to certain parts of the academy, but it brings about a wholly different atmosphere. Every moment of stillness and every movement in the courtyard feels like a tranquil ink painting which exudes indescribable elegance. What an incredible natural ink painting! Xianxia can't help praising. Oh! Gongzi seems to have some aptitude towards painting. Hearing his praise, the butler turns around and asks. It is just a casual comment. He didn't expect that a casual comment that he spoke would attract the attention of the butler. Xianxia hurriedly shakes his head. In his previous life, he was a librarian, and his job is deeply related to literacy. Even though he had seen many different paintings back then, he had never picked up a brush, needless to say, paint. Our Laoi used his heart as his brush and the courtyard as his paper to turn the entire residence into a painting. You aren't mistaken in your words. The butler nods his head and continues moving forward. Laoi GT old master soon. They arrive at the lounge. The lounge isn't very big but is rich in paintings, giving the room a kind of classical elegance. It has a soothing effect on those who step into it. It is unlike the other places, where strength-measuring rock pillars can be found everywhere, which makes one feel as though they would be thrown out if they display insufficient strength. I will be reporting to Laoi. After arranging the seats for the three of them, the butler turns around to leave. You know a thing or two about paintings. The moment the butler leaves, Huang Yu looks over curiously. She seems to have heard the conversation back there. Come to think about it, she doesn't know a single thing about the young man she brought here. I only felt that the arrangement in the courtyard is reminiscent of a painting. Zhong Xian replies. Xiao Yu, don't listen to his nonsense. This fellow is just putting on a show to attract your attention. Bai Zun's glare is so intense that fire may emerge from it. What do you know? My friend here is extremely knowledgeable and talented. Do you think that everyone likes to act mighty the way you do? Hearing the other party insult the friend she brought, Huang Yu is displeased. Knowledgeable? Him. Xiao Yu, you should be careful. I think this lad is just a useless playboy. Despite being young, he is skilled in the art of deceiving to win the favor of girls. He truly has no shame. Luluo, hearing the lady praise Zhong Xian, Bai Zun feels the rage in him boiling even more intensely and he grits his teeth furiously. My friend here is skilled in zither, chess, literature, and painting. There is nothing he is incapable of, there is nothing he doesn't have expertise in. Not only is he outstanding in the younger generation, there aren't many of the older generation who can match up to him. On the contrary, look at yourself. You aren't skilled in anything, and your mind is only filled with fighting and killing all day long. You are the one that is useless. Huang Yu doesn't back down. Skilled in zither, chess, literature, and painting? You mean him? He doesn't look much older than me. Even if he started learning in the womb, how much can he learn? You are probably the only one who will get scammed by him. Bai Zun glares savagely at Zhong Xian. Just because he is young means that he isn't skilled? What if he is talented? Don't doubt others just because you are untalented. Huang Yu retorts. Hearing their argument, the innocent Zhong Xian who had arrows fired at him frowns. If you want to argue, just argue among yourselves. Why must you all rope me in? Did I offend any of you? Zither, chess, literature, and painting, you said? I have never touched any of the four in my entire life. If I am talented, how can I possibly be the first teacher in history to score a 0 in the teacher qualification examination in Hongqian Academy? Just as Bai Zun is about to counterattack with words of his own, footsteps sound from the outside and a figure walks in. It is an elderly man with snow-white hair and beard. He carries with him a unique aura which grants him a majestic disposition. The butler from before follows behind him. Emperor Shen Zui's ex-tutor, Lu Chen. Paying respect to master. Upon seeing him, Bai Zun and Huang Yu dare not bicker any longer and bow simultaneously. I heard that someone was able to tell that the arrangement of my courtyard is an ink painting. It is rare to see such a refined youngster nowadays. Ignoring the two who are paying respect to him, the moment the elderly man walks in, his eyes is fixated upon Zhong Xian. It is apparent that the butler has informed him of Zhong Xian's previous words. Master, this fellow is just spouting nonsense. There's no need to bother about him. I have already revised beforehand, so master, you can feel free to test me. Upon seeing the master's attention fixated on the lad, Bai Zun feels displeased and hurriedly says, Did I allow you to talk? Master Lu Chen frowns. Aye. Bai Zun's face turns completely red, but he dares not talk back to him. He might be of high standing, and his father is formidable as well. However, before the emperor's tutor, he still pales far in comparison. After reprimanding Bai Zun, Master Lu Chen's attention returns back to Zhong Xian. Since you are learned in painting, it just happens that I have a work here for you to appraise in my stead. After which, He gestures with his hand. The butler hurries forward and unfurls a painting scroll on the table. It is a simple and elegant ink painting. The moment it is unfurled, a refreshing aura assaults its viewers. In a peaceful village, children are frolicking around and smoke emerges from the chimneys. If one concentrates, it seems as though one can hear the call of the cicada and see the dance of the tree leaves. It is a painting of a scenery. This. Xianxia scratches his head. He doesn't know a single thing about painting. All he can tell about this painting is that it isn't bad. Asking him to appraise? What is he supposed to appraise about it? You must think carefully before you speak. This is a test by the master. He likes to test others. Anyway, when I first came, I was tested by him too. If you manage to speak well, you will be able to borrow as many books as you like. But if you were to screw this up, you will be sent back instantly. Just as he is hesitating, Huang Yu's agitated voice sounds beside him. Test. Xianxia smiles bitterly. If only he knew that Master Lu Chen has such interests, he wouldn't have said anything when he walked into the courtyard. Is this considered as courting trouble? However, based on Huang Yu's words, it is likely that the other party will test him even if he says nothing. After all, this is a habit he has cultivated. He probably can't shake it off even if he wanted to. As for appraising it, what the heck is he supposed to appraise? He isn't even learned in that aspect. What problems can he see from it? What kind of comments should he be making? After all, the other party is the emperor's tutor, a master of painting. If he were to spout nonsense, he might be chased away with a stick even before he is done speaking. Why? Is there any problem? Upon seeing his expression, Master Lu Chen inquires. Nothing. Xianxia scratches his head. Just as he is at a loss on how he should organize his sentences to come up with words that the other party is unable to find flaws with, a thought suddenly flashes through his mind. Since the Library of Heaven's Path is capable of authenticating items, then, is it possible for it to tell the flaws in paintings? At this point, he can't resist stepping forward to touch the painting lightly. Wang! A sound echo in his head and a book appears in his mind. Xianxia is overjoyed. After reading the contents of it, he raises his head and gazes at Master Lu Chen with bright eyes. Smiling faintly, he asks, "Master really wants me to appraise this?" Master Lu Chen doesn't respond, indicating his silent consent. "I have 8 words of evaluation on it." Xianxia says. "I am willing to listen to it." Master Lu Chen looks at Xianxia. Xianxia nods his head. His eyes scan through the painting once more and he shakes his head. The 8 words are, "Downright senseless, what the heck is this toy? Gongzi, please mind your words." Initially, he was curious on the evaluation Xianxia could give. Upon hearing these words, the butler almost faints on the spot. Flustered, he tries to stop him hurriedly. This is a painting that was just drawn by the master. Chapter 49. How did he do it? A painting left behind by the master. By the side, Huang Yu feels like she is going insane. She almost loses her balance and falls to the floor. In the past, Master Lu Chen had brought out paintings for them to appraise, as well as to test them. However, he had never brought out his own works. This time, why would he? If the fellow before her had praised the work the master took out, perhaps, the master will be delighted with his evaluation and let it pass. However, what did you say? Downright senseless, what the heck is this toy? Is this something a human should say? To evaluate Master Lu Chen's drawing as downright senseless, what the heck is this toy? Huang Yu feels like vomiting blood. Didn't you say that you won't put me in a difficult position? What is going on? If she knew that Xianxia had decided afterward that as a teacher, he shouldn't put her in an awkward situation, more blood will probably come spurting out from her mouth. Is this what you call not putting me in an awkward situation? You are obviously pushing me down the cliff. She is regretting her action of bringing this fellow here. Master Lu Chen favors youngsters who learn with humility. He never discriminates against people, and he likes people coming over to learn from him. This fellow seems scholarly on the surface, as well as a person who knows his boundaries, so she thought that he is the type to learn with humility. Thus, she brought him over so she could please the master. If things go well, she could make use of the opportunity to achieve her goals as well. Yet, she never would have expected that. He is so unreliable. Huang Yu feels her guts turn green with regret. If only she knew that this would happen, she would have rejected him on the spot. Why did she guide him over just to bring trouble on herself? While she is on the verge of going berserk, Bai Zun is on the verge of laughing. Indeed, what is scary is not a godlike opponent, but a pig-like teammate. This fellow actually dares to describe Master Lu Chen's work as "what the heck is this toy?" Needless to think, he must have offended the master thoroughly with his words. Even if he doesn't make a move, the master will probably teach this ignorant lad a lesson. Is this the knowledge and talent you speak of? Skilled in zither, chess, literature, and painting. Chuckling softly, he gazes at Huang Yu teasingly. Huang Yu had just praised Xianxia a moment ago, yet in the next, the latter spoke such words. Have you ever seen a knowledgeable and talented person act like this? Silence. In contrast to butler Uncle Cheng's anxiety, Huang Yu's regret and Bai Zun's glee, Master Lu Chen doesn't get mad due to the other party's words. He interrupts the commotion going on and looks at Lu Chen calmly. This little brother over here, why would you make such an evaluation? Is there a problem with my drawing? I didn't know that it was master's work. I seek your forgiveness for my brashness. Xianxia feigns shock and hurriedly bows apologetically. The book compiled by the Library of Heaven's Path allows him to look into the flaws of the painting, and the artist is also labeled in it. Naturally, he knows that the painting before him is Lu Chen's work, just that he is intentionally feigning ignorance. Don't worry about it. This is just a painting. I am only asking you to appraise the strengths and weaknesses of the painting, and not the painter of it. Master Lu Chen gestures. With your words, I am reassured. Xianxia smiles. Facing the painting again, he strokes it and says, if we are just talking about this painting, even if it is drawn by the master, I can only use these 8 words to evaluate it. Downright senseless. What the heck is this toy? Huang Yu and the butler look calm on the surface, but panic on the inside. To say such words after knowing that this is a work of the master. Lad, are you insane? However. Xianxia pauses for a moment. However what? This painting is indeed nothing much. Any artist by the street would be able to draw it. It is already an overestimation by calling it a toy. However, if one is able to see beyond its surface, then it is definitely an astonishing creation that will leave its viewers in disbelief. Xianxia says. Look beyond the surface. How should we look? Master Lu Chen smiles gently. Simple. Xianxia looks at the butler Uncle Cheng. May I trouble you to bring a dagger over? All right. After taking a look at Master Lu Chen and noticing the lack of disapproval, Uncle Cheng turns around and walks out. After a short moment, he returns with a dagger and passes it to Xianxia. Then, I will be making an embarrassment of myself. Grabbing the dagger, Xianxia walks over to the painting and stabs the dagger into it. What are you doing? Seeing his actions, Bai Zun steps forward. That is the master's work. Every single painting of his is incomparably valuable that some even label them as priceless treasures. Are you sure you can compensate him if you damage it? Huang Yu also looks at his actions in bewilderment. Why would you need a dagger to appraise a painting? Ignoring Bai Zun's rebuke, Xianxia cuts the unblemished painting with the dagger. Tzzzzzzzz, the sound of paper being cut echoes in the air. The portion of the drawing that was cut curls upwards. Tugging lightly on it, the top portion of the drawing separates from the bottom layer. This is similar to how there are different levels to a building. A layer of Xian paper forms the top layer of the painting, whereas the bottom layer consists of goatskin. Xian paper, GTA type of paper suitable for drawing. Huala. The tearing of the top Xian paper exposes what is on top of the goatskin. There is also a painting on top of the goatskin, and it is similar to what was on the Xian paper. However, there is more spirit to this one and the depictions are much more vivid. It is as though the mountainous rocks, trees, village, and children would pop out from within at any moment. If I'm not wrong, the drawing on top of the Xian paper is just a layer of deception. The true drawing is imprinted through the Xian paper, onto the goatskin. This is the true secret behind the master's drawing. After tearing the Xian paper carefully away, Xianxia smiles. This. Regardless of whether it is Huang Yu, the butler, or Bai Zun, all of their eyes widen in disbelief. To imprint the ink beyond the Xian paper onto the goatskin through force, not to mention that the drawing on top of the paper must retain a certain level of clarity such that no flaws can be seen on it. This is way too incredible. These two paintings are stacked on top of one another flawlessly. How was he able to tell? Not bad, not bad. Upon seeing the young man easily exposing the secret behind his painting, Master Lu Chen's eyes light up. This time, his gaze towards the youngster is full of praise. At the same time, he is also filled with shock. His ability to imprint on goatskin through a layer of paper via force is something he just comprehended. He had never showcased it in front of anyone else. Yet, this youngster is able to see through it in an instant. His eye of discernment is way too formidable. Then, what about this drawing? Master Lu Chen turns around and points to a painting hung on the wall. There is a giant savage beast painted on it. Similar to a savage tiger descending from the mountain, its ferocious aura leaves its viewers with astonishment. If a timid person were to catch sight of this painting, they might fall limply onto the ground, fearing to make a single noise. Xianxia steps forward and strokes it lightly. Then, he smiles, this painting isn't bad, but it is lacking in disposition. If I am not wrong, the painter of the work has never seen the savage beast portrayed in the drawing before. This drawing is just based on his personal interpretation. This. Master Lu Chen's body trembles as his eyes widen into complete circles. Others might be confused by what Xianxia is saying, but he understands what the other party means. That is because this painting is his work as well. The savage beast on the painting is known as Kai Xiong, and it is a rare life form. It is said to possess boundless strength and invincible defense, to the point that no weapon is able to wound it. Just like what the other party said, it is true that he has never met such a life form. The reason why he was able to draw this painting is because he had flipped through numerous books so as to feed his imagination. This painting is one of his prided works. This is also the reason why it is hung on the middlemost location of the lounge. Innumerable painting masters have come to visit and they are filled with praises for it. They all find the painting majestic and lifelike. Why would the youngster say that it is lacking in disposition? Since the other party is able to see through the overall situation behind the other painting in an instant, his eye for such stuff should be top-notch. Furthermore, he was able to tell that he had never seen a Kai Xiong just by glancing at the painting, so it is very probable that he has his own reasons for saying so. Which part of it is lacking in disposition? Would you be kind to enlighten me? At this point, Master Lu Chen no longer has the attitude of superiority from before as he hurriedly asks. Seeing the Emperor's tutor who kept testing them, causing them to scratch their heads helplessly innumerable times, seeking guidance with humility from a young man who isn't even 20 yet, Huang Yu and Bai Zun stare at one another and they feel like fainting. Especially Huang Yu, her eyes can't stop blinking. The shock strikes her mind like billowing waves. That fellow, how did he do it? Chapter 50. Peer That Simple. Oblivious to the shock and the thoughts going through the minds of the others, Xianxia smiles. Even though the Kai Xiong is known for its invincible defense, its body is streamlined like a sharp sword. It specializes in quick assaults and overcomes its opponents through speed rather than strength. From this, it can be inferred that its disposition should be that of a sharp sword rather than a heavy mountain. Given how the painter got the disposition of the savage beast wrong, it is clear to see that it is an interpretation. Master Lu Chen's body sways. It isn't that the other party is inaccurate in his appraisal, but he is too accurate in it. All along, he had thought that since the Kai Xiong is known for its invincible defense, its disposition should be heavy like a mountain. The reminder from the youngster makes him recall an introduction on the savage beast from a book. It mentions that it is extremely fast, killing its opponent without even revealing itself. This is precisely the reason why very few people have seen its true form. One of the greatest taboos of a painter is to mistake the disposition their painting should carry. If even the disposition is unfitting for the subject, then even the most valuable of paintings will be reduced to trash. Xianxia is already sparing his pride by saying that the painting isn't bad, instead of saying something more extreme. Excellent. Incredible. With his face flushed red with excitement, Master Lu Chen expresses his high appraisal of Xianxia. If it is just a single painting, it is possible that it might just be luck or coincidence. However, to see the crux behind two different paintings in an instant, he can confidently say that the youngster before him might look young, but he is a true master painter. His skills can only be superior to his own. It is easy to make friends, but it is hard to find a soulmate. Throughout his career as a painter, he is unable to find an equal in the entire Xianxia kingdom. Usually, when he deciphers a painting to the others, they would only respond to it perfunctorily and instead focus their efforts on praising him. No one was able to truly understand the essence of those paintings, needless to say, to point out the flaws in them. Friend kind of soulmate, this is precisely the reason why he feels desolate, and often opens up his residence to encourage diligent juniors in the hope that there will be someone to succeed him. At this moment, upon meeting someone who is able to point out the flaws and weaknesses of a painting, he feels as though he has met a soulmate. How can he not be delighted over it? If not for his strong will and self-control, he might have leaped in joy on the spot. Seeing the master so exuberant, Huang Yu and Bai Zun no longer bicker and stare at one another. Their eyes widen into complete circles, almost popping out from their heads. They have been acquainted with this master since young. He is always calm, and no matter what comes in his way, he never allows it to interfere with his mind. The last time the emperor sent some servants to deliver the Harshland's night illumination pearl to him, a gift that is worth a king's ransom, he didn't even take a look at it before ordering a servant to keep it in the warehouse. Yet, a casual answer from the young man leaves him in such a state. Could it be that his words are true? At this point, the two of them shot their gazes towards the young man. However, no matter how they stare at him, he looks nothing but ordinary to them. Xiao Yu, aren't you going to introduce this Gongzi to me? While she is still struck with bewilderment, Master Lu Chen's words echo in the room. Introduce? He. Upon being questioned, Huang Yu is taken back. Only now does she realize that she had not asked for the other party's name. Her face turns red and she scratches her head awkwardly as she turns towards Xianxia and asks, "Ah, right, what is your name?" Hearing these words, Bai Zun, who is sitting beside her, looks constipated. Just a moment ago, he was still overwhelmed by jealousy, thinking that someone has beaten him to his goddess, causing the urge to beat up this youngster to well up in him. Only now does he realize that Huang Yu doesn't even know his name. If only he knew earlier, he wouldn't have gotten so angry over nothing. However, his dilemma doesn't end here. Immediately after, he hears Master Lu Chen's angry voice. "What do you mean by he? No decorum at all. This little brother here is a peer of mine. You will have to address him as a master in the future." Peer. This time, not only Huang Yu and Bai Zun feel dizzy-headed, even the butler Uncle Cheng freezes in shock. The three of them stare at Xianxia as though they are looking at a monster. What kind of standing does Master Lu Chen possess? Emperor Shun Zui's teacher, a true emperor's tutor. There isn't a single person in the entire kingdom who dares to claim to be his peer. If one were to do it, it would mean that one is claiming to be the senior of the country's emperor. For a person of such standing to view a youngster who isn't even 20 as a fellow peer of his. Surely I am hearing things? Didn't you all hear my words? Seeing the two of them in a daze, Lu Chen chastises them again. Yes. Bai Zun and Huang Yu hurriedly bow, paying respect to the master. There is no need to be so formal. Xianxia didn't expect Lu Chen to be so polite. He nods his head helplessly and says, "I'm Xianxia. I just happen to understand master's paintings out of coincidence. I am not fitting of the title of a master. So it is little brother Xianxia. You can't put it like that. Manners are manners. You are able to see through the flaws in my work with just a glance. This means that you are well versed in paintings, and you possess an exceptional eye for them. If you aren't worthy of the title of master with your standards, wouldn't that mean that I am unable to live up to my title as a master as well?" Lu Chen says. Xianxia laughs dryly. It is true that he is able to point the flaws in the paintings, but that isn't because of his abilities in that aspect. He only made use of the cheat called the Library of Heaven's Path. Without this, needless to say appraising it, he might be scratching his head with a confused expression, unable to even identify what is being drawn. All right, stop being so polite. Feel free to reprimand these juniors when you meet them in the future. Unsure about what Xianxia is thinking about, Lu Chen casually says, "Juniors? Feel free to reprimand?" By Zun and Huang, you are on the verge of crying. The heck, we are around the same age and yet you became a senior of our grandfather's generation in an instant. Dude, you are way too formidable. Ignoring the despondent duo, Master Lu Chen looks over in puzzlement. Little brother, to follow Xiao Yu here, you probably aren't here for leisure. May I ask what is it that you require my help on? I have heard that Master has a wide collection of books. The reason why I am here today is to find some Fighter 6 Dan cultivation technique manuals to browse through. Hearing Master Lu Chen question his purpose, Xianxia hurriedly replies. The main aim of his journey here is this: he mustn't let this opportunity slip him by. My collection of books is quite vast, but they are mainly on painting. I do not possess many books on cultivation techniques here. As for those on Fighter 6 Dan, I only have a couple of them. They are in my study. Come, I will bring you over to take a look. Hearing his purpose, Master Lu Chen strokes his beard with a smile and stands up. Laoi, your study. The butler Uncle Cheng quickly walks forward and asks questioningly. Laoi GT Old Master Laoi's study does possess quite a lot of one-of-a-kind limited edition books, and each of them are extremely valuable. He has never allowed any outsiders to enter his study, and even Emperor Shenzui was blocked at the door when he came the previous time. There was a maid who wasn't aware of the rules and ran in to clean the room. In the end, she was beaten to death. This is precisely the reason why the study of the Lu residence is the forbidden zone within forbidden zones, and no one dares to enter it. Yet, Laoi intends to bring in a young man who he had just met, leaving him at a loss. The reason why I don't allow others to enter my study is for fear that they would afflict it with their vulgarity. Little brother Xianxia is a fellow peer of mine and a master painter. It is an honor of mine to have him enter to offer me some pointers. There is no reason for me to stop him from entering at all. Master Lu Chen's face darkens. Yes. Uncle Cheng retreats in a fluster. He may be ignorant about painting, but even he is able to tell at this point that there isn't a single error in the appraisal of the young man. Otherwise, it is impossible for Laoi's attitude to do an 180-degree turn and act so amiably. Let's go. Master Lu Chen leads the way while Xianxia follows behind him. After a moment, they reach a wide room. As expected of a master whom Huang Yu was full of praises for, the collection of books in his study is massive. All kinds of manuals fill the shelves, and there are at least hundreds of thousands of books here. Xianxia feels as though he has walked into a library. Walking between the shelves while taking a casual look, it is exactly as the other party said. The books are all on painting, and there are barely any on cultivation techniques and martial arts. Those on cultivation technique are over here. There are only a handful of them. They were left behind from back when I was still cultivating. Master Lu Chen introduces with a smile as he brings Xianxia towards the corner of the study. Thank you for listening to PandaAudioBooks. If you love what you hear and want to support my work, check out the PayPal link in the description. Every bit helps. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notifications bell to stay updated with all our latest audiobook chapters. We'll see you in the next one.